let's start with UDYAM day 3. All right, so all eyes on the screen now. Right, screen's visible, clear? Okay. So office etiquettes, right? Yesterday there was a question asked and I thought that most of us didn't answer. What do you mean by an etiquette? What does it mean?
Something that can be done in sophisticated.
Sorry? Be a bit loud, huh?
Something that can be done in sophisticated. Like a set
That
of
is complication, na?
like a set of instructions to do
Set of instructions, no.
good behavior.
Yeah, halfway right. Behavior. It's basically your approach or behavior for a specific act or a specific category of act. Let's say you say office etiquette, so something related to office. Like while you are in office or while you are working in a workspace, what should be your behavior or your manners, right? In other words, we talk about mannerisms and stuff. So like right now, a lot of people are sitting here, right? So I'm seeing a lot of people are sitting like this. You can still keep your hand and be straight. Some people are moving like this, right? Which is absolutely rude and wrong. It looks really rude, right? So shaking the chair or leaning onto the table all the time, that is wrong. That's not the right posture. So you have to be straight and you have to talk. So once you practice, being in a straight position and talking straight, it becomes a habit by default. Your body automatically does that, given the environment. While you're in house, you can sit in any direction, any position you want. But while you're in a workspace, your body automatically adjusts itself to the environment. So it needs a little bit of consciousness and practice. Okay, that's really important. While even sitting, back, you should make sure that your legs are firmly grounded. They are not too much crossed or a leg over the other leg, right? A leg over the other leg is also part of etiquette, but that depends what situation you are sitting. Let's say you are sitting in a one-to-one conversation where this table is not there, where your leg is not hidden, then you can always have your leg over another, right? And that is where you can be professional about it. You don't have to have a very open leg kind of posture, right? Closed leg. So all those things talks about you as a person. It enhances your personality. It adds more value to what you talk. If your posture is straight enough, that means you're serious about something. Or let's say you're serious about what you're saying. If I'm not serious about what I'm talking right now, or if, let's say if I'm not serious about what I'm supposed to send the message out, then it is received in the same manner. The person who's receiving it will not be taking it seriously. So office etiquettes helps us to, have our first impression right, setting the right tone. Then respect and consideration, yes. Now, so far we spoke about how to sit and all, right? I mean, basic stuff. Now, respect and consideration. Now, when I talk to someone in a office environment or in a workspace, I may have my prejudices, I may have my problems with that person, 1,000, 2,000 problems, but when I address that person, I should be addressing to the role that they play. I should be addressing to that person with minimum courtesy. Right? Yesterday during email etiquettes, we learned about no matter whom you are sending your mail to, it may be upstream to your managers and leadership, it may be downstream to your juniors or trainees, or it can be peer to peer who are equal to you. You have to make sure you maintain a professional tone. It should not be too blunt or too dead without any expression. But this is not my problem. Okay, it's your headache. Just do it. Right? This is something I'm feeling right now inside my heart, in my mind. But when I professionally put it across, I can put it across in this way. See, the question or the statement was, "This is not my problem. It's your headache. Just do it." Okay. Now, how to say it professionally? Can anybody try? Okay. Let me do that. See, when I address this issue, if I'm saying this to someone, I will say, hey, I think I have limited expertise on this subject. I think you may pour more information on it. Let me know where you need any, do you need, if you need any help from me. That means I'm trying to say that you are an expert of this thing. I'm not. And if you need any help, let me know. That means I'm implying that that person has to work on this issue. So, which one is sounding more soft and more polite and more professional? The second option, right? So, rather than saying someone, it's not my problem, it's your headache. No, that's wrong. I may feel thousand things inside. I mean, I may feel really agitated inside, but when I speak, it should be soft. That's the control over words, over tone, over speech is that is needed in a workspace. Not all offices or not all environments are toxic as they show on social media. It is all about how you control your tongue, control your tone, or control your expression and just put it across in the best way possible. Now, they say communication effectiveness. How much effective is your communication? So, to avoid misunderstanding, see, I think there is one very common bias when we type a WhatsApp message, right, or specifically with messaging, it may be Microsoft Teams or Slack or anything, even within the companies when you talk to people. I think written communication, it only shows 20 to 30% of your expression. It will not show that 70% of your entire expression that what you're doing, what's happening there, right? So if I'm writing to someone, hey, you did good, exclamation mark. This is the dead face I'm putting in and typing in, right? It doesn't matter what face I have, but when I write it down, hey, congratulations, right? Emojis are separate. We don't use emojis in professional space, but we tend to you know put our message across. So if I say congratulations with an exclamation mark, like I'm kind of a little bit elated as in a little bit happy or a little bit feeling good about it, or feeling positive about that expression that I'm putting in. But when I say congratulations, it sounds dead. But if you meet someone and you are talking to someone, hey, congratulations, so that eyebrows that went over my face and that little bit of smile, or people call it smirk, to be precise, this will send out a much more effective expression rather than the text. So when we say office etiquettes, I think it does include everything: written communication, oral communication, body language, and everything. But I think it emphasizes more on how you present yourself physically, where it is more tangible or it is more visible to people. So if I'm sitting right now and if I'm shaking my leg like this, that may be nervousness, that may be happening automatically because of habit. But all that I'm doing is somewhere draining my focus away. So let's not do that, right? We say productivity and efficiency, so minimizing disruptions. Obviously, see, I'm here to work. I'm not here to fight with people, or I'm not here to get into things which are not related to work, right? Let's say, I know work from home is a concept. Let's keep that concept aside for a moment, uh, because things will get complicated there. But tell me one thing: while we are in office, if we start doing homework, something which we are supposed to do at home, how weird that will look like, right? I mean, I'm bringing my vegetables to office and cutting it. Huh? I'm bringing my baby to office and sitting with the baby. In order to make employees comfortable, there are these things are also available at office in certain offices, but somehow that sounds really weird, right? Sometimes a little bit of ridiculous it sounds. But just think of it. I mean, you if you bring home work to office and take office work to home, everything mixes because that environment is not right. Now we say that there is a certain dress code people have to follow. People have to wear a certain kind of dress, like formal dress that we are wearing today, right? Why is it? Every single work that people do will have something called work clothes. A pilot has a uniform. Yet that pilot will wear a work cloth. We call it overalls. Even though a military man will have a separate uniform for regular office work, he or she will definitely have a different attire while operating the machinery, like aircrafts or helicopters or anything else they are working on. Likewise for factory workers, right? For manufacturing workers, they will go to office in a certain cloth, but while working on the manufacturing plant or the machinery, they'll have a different cloth. Mechanics, people, construction workers, right? They come in a different cloth, they have a different work cloth, right? It's not always about what's going to get dirty and what's not. It's about work cloth, which defines mentally and physically that I am here to work. That's the reason why dress code is important in offices. It's not because just because I have an office, I want people to wear a certain thing, right? It's because a dress code mentally, subconsciously tells you that you are here to work. So that somehow your mind and body avoids all the conflicts around you. So your productivity and efficiency will come into play when you are avoiding distractions and disruptions, not getting into arguments or fights, avoiding distractions. Even in military, they say cut your hair in a certain way. All this is distraction. Because if you have more of this, you have to maintain it. Why to waste time on that, right? So all those things. Those are the rules set up in that manner. So for offices as well, we set up a dress code so that things are simple. You groom yourself once in a month or twice in a month. Set. That's more than enough. No, you don't have to do it too much or too repetitively so that you save more time to be productive. Company image representing your organization well. Yes, right. I'm sitting right here. It's a Saturday, it's a weekend. Yet, if I'm working in, let's say, if I'm working in TCS, whatever I talk, I'll always represent TCS in a way, certain way. I'm right now representing my family. I'm representing my company that I work for. I'm representing my college where I study. Like, because all these places have made me what I am. So currently, if you're students of St. Peter's Engineering College, no matter if you're attending a workshop outside college, you are still representing your college. You are still representing your hometown or your, you know, place. Yeah. So let's come back to company image. So even though, let's say you belong to Hyderabad city. So while sitting here, you, as part of wherever you go, and you're representing your background. Like it can be family, company, college, or city where you belong to. If I go to a different city, they'll say this person is from Hyderabad. This person works in so and so company. So that's all I'm always carrying. So please be very, have that conscience, that understanding that when you're representing a company, in a way, you have to be more soft and professional around it. Let's say career advancement, demonstrating professionalism. Of course, when something adds to your personality, when something always talks about how you carry yourself, how soft spoken you are, how approachable you are, it by default adds more adjectives around it. Let's say if I'm a very jovial person, right? My adjective is being happy and being jovial. That automatically adds other adjectives to me. For example, it automatically makes me helpful, it makes me kind, it makes me useful, it makes me reachable, approachable, right? It makes me answerable in a certain way. I didn't say all those adjectives. We simply said he's jovial, right? Example. So that way, when you carry yourself better, you dress well, work is secondary. Your personality, your impression itself will define that this person is something. And with that, people approach to you with a certain level of trust and understanding. And in that way, you can get more opportunities, right? Someone really, let's say, there are 10 tasks to do. Someone really does 15 tasks, but does not dress well and keep up with the grooming. They'll not pick you up. They'll get the work done from you, but you will not be the face of that project, right? So that way, how it affects. I'm not being really blunt or being very sharp with that. But that is how that impression works, right? Coming back, why I said this example was to connect with the next slide, that is communication etiquette, right? Business communication. So I think major part of it, Syed and Sahiti has covered, like email communication and meetings and other. I would not spend much time on it, but I'll try to gather more examples here. Like for example, Farheen, have you been in a situation where you wanted to express something but you couldn't? Like, can you give that example? What was it?
In the class, when someone was asking me a question and I knew the answer, but I was not able to express what was the answer. Because I was getting shy when I was feeling that my answer might be wrong.
Right. So sometimes being ridiculous, it's not a negative word. Ridiculous means free of care, just doing something without caring for anybody or anything, right? It's not a negative word. Please don't be in a perception that attitude is a negative word. Yeah, no word is negative. It's the latter part, the example or the situation that we add to it makes it positive or negative. A problem, when you say problem, this word has many meanings. It's not a negative word. If it is bothering, it's a negative word. But a problem, like a problem statement or a question, is not a negative word, right? It's a condition put forward. When you are talking to someone and say that I'll do this, but at a condition, is that a negative situation? No. It's just they're trying to leverage, right? What I'm going to do for you, I'll do it along with something extra that you do for me. It's leveraging, bargaining. It's a bargain. It's not a negative word. So stop biasing your mind. Come out of that box, right? Come out of that narrative that has been said to you so far that attitude is a wrong word. Problem is a wrong word. These are not wrong words or negative words. It's the act or the verb, to be precise in English, the verb, the action that it is associated with that makes it positive or negative. So attitude is what? What's the difference between attitude and nature? Tricky question. Please be a bit loud. Still, you're not talking to Akshay, talking to You're not talking to him. So, Farin, can you listen to what Maitri is saying?
Nature is behavior, whereas attitude is like
It's also behavior. Okay, okay. Attitude is a focused approach towards a situation, right? Nature is more kind of a permanent set of behavior that a person has. It includes manners, it includes body language, it includes certain jargons or words that a person pronounces. Your instincts. Instincts, yeah. So your first instinct, right, by default is set to something. So that is your nature. The moment you look at a problem, what your mind goes towards, is it negative thoughts or positive thoughts? And when you convert that into action, that is when your nature is seen. If I'm thinking something right now, you will not know what I'm thinking, right? You will not know what my nature is. But when I act, you will know, okay, this person is a hasty person, or he is an impulsive person, or okay, he is a thoughtful person. He thinks and then he does, right? That is nature. Attitude is to a given certain category of problem, not to a certain situation always, to a certain category of situation or category of problem. What's my approach, right? This approach can differ at different situations. If I miss a bus, right? If I miss a 10 o'clock bus for a 3 o'clock flight, right? I'll not be angry. So my attitude towards the situation is, we'll catch the next one. If my flight is at 1 and I'm missing my bus at 12, I'll become angry, right? I'll be like, oh God. So my attitude towards my approach towards the situation is aggression. So attitude, situation is same, but attitude changes according to the situations, the environment, the factors. So a person's attitude is not like always, hey, don't stop showing me attitude. This kind of sentence you might have heard a lot. Hey, don't show me attitude. He has lot of attitude. He has lot of attitude. She has lot of attitude. Of course, everybody has attitude. That's your integral part of your existence. Attitude you should have. That's your approach towards a situation, right? Let's say you're walking on the road and you lose something. Let's say 5 rupees note, 50 rupees note or something. Now, according to the value of the note that you lose, your attitude, your nature, your reaction towards that situation changes. 2 rupees, okay, fine, okay. 200 rupees, let's search for it. Attitude, right? Does it mean negative? Negative attitude is when your behavior is unfavorable, uh, not uncalled for, or it's wrong. It shouldn't be in that way. Someone does something to you bad, right? Probably they lost something which they got. Let's say you gave them your pen or something, a very small article. They lost the pen. You'll be like, okay, 10 rupees pen, that's fine. Let's say you gave them some money to keep or some other article like a phone or a laptop and they broke it. You'll start beating them. You'll feel bad. You're still aggressive. You start beating them or hitting them or being too much aggressive. That's a bad attitude. I mean, they might have not done it intentionally. You're not thinking from that angle, right? You're thinking from the angle that this was my article that got lost. Attitude changes, right? You're angry because you didn't get good marks. You go home and you misbehave or you show that aggression on your siblings or maybe parents. Bad attitude because don't bleed on people who have not cut you. That idiom, right? So these are some examples I'm saying. Bad attitude. Good attitude we have already discussed. So for this communication etiquette, I think major part, Syed he has done it. I just want to say that these are some words that you always hear out, you listen to, and that is when you have to judge whether what's your understanding around it. Are you making your understanding based on what other people think, or is it actually you are researching on things and understanding what's a good attitude and a bad attitude is, right? Example, as an attitude as a word. All right, so communication etiquette, we have learnt it yesterday. Okay, that was entirety of it. Now let's ask something. Let's give them a situation. Okay, let's say your product is being delayed. Your product that you're working on is being delayed by 3 days, and this is something you want to communicate to your clients, right? Akshita, how will you do that? You're not loud enough. Can you have a sip of water if you want? Yeah. What you told me was body and conclusion. There was no salutation there, right? Let's say you are talking to Sirish as your client, right? So, hey Sirish, I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to touch base with you or let you know that this launch or this delivery is going to be delayed by a couple of days because there are certain dependencies. I know you will not know these words like dependencies and all, but just trying to put it in a way that it is more understandable. Acha, there is another trick, saying no without saying no. The master, can you come to the workshop? No, no, I'll make it next time. How does that sound like, right? Can you do this for me? I think I'll try this next time, right? Can you do this? I'll try my best. That means it's not probable that it will be done, but somewhere down the line, some part of it will be done, but not in its entirety. Will you do this for me? I think I'll pass. Or maybe, I feel that I'm not the right person to do this, probably. You know?
I mean, just to add, the
Yeah.
best answer which most of us will give in offices. Currently, I don't have a bandwidth for this. So bandwidth is like I don't have time for it. But I'll make sure if there is any time I can adjust, I'll give it. So just make sure it's not get it back. Check with someone.
More American way. Right now, my plate is full, so I'll see if I can squeeze in something, but I can't assure of any result as of.
Isn't that more informal?
It's not.
Isn't
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay. Okay, fine. If you feel that, okay.
Hmm.
I think XYZ is an expert of this. Let me delegate to him or her. They will be in a, I think they will get more desirable results. So that's delegating and saying no at the same time, right?
But you can delegate only when
You know that person,
Yeah.
or that person says yes, but still you are directing it towards someone. In some situations wherein, let's say, we work with support projects, like we know that for a product it has got different features. So for a certain feature there is definitely a certain team. So I'm not calling out a person, but rather, let's say, yeah, this is a very practical situation. This happened yesterday itself. This morning as well it happened. See, we take care of application maintenance as well as platform support. Like there is a certain platform in AWS, Amazon Web Services. We have a platform. So the user reached out with a coding issue. My duty, or our duty, my team's duty, is to make sure that this application, this platform is up and running for users. That's it. What they work on the platform, what they delete on the platform, what they add to the platform is none of my concern. If someone comes to me and asks me about this code repository is having these exceptions, I want to work with it, that's not that does not look like my problem. Like it's kind of their problem, or it's kind of someone else's problem, but I cannot say it rudely, right? They're a user, they're a customer to us. So I'll say thanks for reaching out to the support. So first acknowledge that the fact that they took out time to type in a problem, a question to you, right? Thanks for your time and patience to reach out to us, and then say that after carefully analyzing your problem, which I didn't do, because after just by looking at for certain keywords I knew that it is not my problem, but I can't say that, right? I should not be. So after carefully analyzing your problem statement, I feel that this team is the perfect, people or perfect team to take care of this problem. Let me assure that this problem reaches out to that team, and I will transfer this issue to that team. That way, my credibility is I understood that this user needed help and I got them help. Whether that team solves the problem or not is none of my concern. None of my duty, does not show or reflect anything bad on me, right? Social media team, right? They are specifically supposed to make sure that all the posts are going in. L&D team is supposed to make sure these presentations are looking good, or these presentations are in place, right? So whether this presentation is being captured on the screen or not is social media team's responsibility. But what's written on it is L&D's responsibility, right? Departments within our association. So if I say that there is a spelling mistake, something's wrong, I cannot say, hey, Somit, or hey, Maitri, that there's something wrong. She'll say, okay, let me connect you with the L&D team who's responsible for the content development, and they'll help you out to correct these mistakes. Right? That's how it is. Sometimes you have to say no because it's not in your scope to do, but there is a way. And that one extra step that I've taken was to transfer that issue, which I can even say in this way. I strongly believe that if you reach out to this team, they will be really able to understand your issue and give you some guidance. I can say, and basically I'm trying to say that you go and connect with that team. It's none of my concern. But here, what was the extra step I took in the first example? I connected with that team, right? So that way you can always provide that good service, customer service. Okay. So communication etiquette, what Syed explained yesterday was all about, the day one was all about how you place yourself in an environment. But when you work in an environment where you are dealing with customers day in, day out, it doesn't have to be like a call center kind of environment. Even for development, testing, and all those services, we deal with users every day. I'm a user of an application. He is the developer of an application. I'm his user. He is my only support, right? So that way, we have to also understand that how we say in business models, we say customer, business to customer, B2C. Likewise, we have B2B, right? So this is different models, business models, the communication pattern also changes. Okay. Any doubts, any questions, any situations you would like to, you might have faced, but you want an answer now. Mm.
Like everything's put everything on TV. Sometimes they may sound informal. So are there are idioms classified into formal and informal, and should we focus into criteria like that, or can we use it
Okay.
anywhere?
Okay. There's a trick here. All idioms can be used formally and informally both. Uh, Specifically, I'll tell you, idioms which are European, right? They sound very formal in general. Idioms which are Western, that is American, South or North American, by default they sound informal. But still, there is a way of putting them formally. Let's say, um, in European standards, I mean, when something's not working, they'll basically say it's gone, it's done with, it's not working. They're very on the spot. But for US or Western culture, they say it's broken. For us Indians to understand when something is broken, it has a physical crack which I can see. There is a screen broken or something. A user will call you and say, my PC is broken. Can you fix it? You're literally sitting on a call. How can you fix something which is physically broken? Understanding gap, cultural gap. So, in order to say this is broken, right, in a professional way, say it slowly. I feel something's broken with my PC. Hey, my PC is broken. This is informal. I feel something's broken with my PC. And took a pause and then I said, so it made it formal. It's still informal idiom. That's the trick. That's it. Now, if I say something's not working, I can say it informally by being really fast. Hey, it's not working. Rude, right? I think something's not working right. Something's not right. Formal, right? It's as simple as that. Any idiom is both formal and informal. It's just the tone, the intonation that makes it like that. So now what I'm speaking in a certain way, giving pauses, if I say it fast enough, it will look really blunt and very much unpredictable. But if I'm speaking slowly, it will give people a space to think within those words and within those lines. And that's why we speak slowly. And also, as a person, it shows me that I'm thinking and speaking, even though I'm not. Right? Answers your question. I gave something extra because out of habit. I hope you got it. Other questions?
Important factors in formal people.
Okay. What those four people will say. Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
See, okay. So it's all, I mean, maybe we are not used to say no. Maybe we are not used to say no, but it's always a good thing to say no. See, if you have something to work on and you know that that work it can't be done with you because it can be with your bandwidth or you have some personal issues, you can just say yes, right now in this position, I can't do because of this. So you can just say that because I have something already in place, I'm not in a position to do. You can check with others.
Chacha, decline.
Instead of directly saying no, you can just say I'm busy on this particular task. That's the reason you can check with them. So that's a way of answering it. So just don't think what people will think. Always put you in first place. Don't think about others. No, no, it doesn't. See, when you're already saying that you are in this position, and until or unless it's not too urgent, things can wait. But there are few things. Let's say now, for example, there is one post that should be done by 10 o'clock. Uh, and you have given a deadline of 5 hours. And let's say you and one more person in social media team, and you are not in a position to do it. You can just directly check with the one who assigned you the task that can it wait. If they say no, you have to check with another person that can you do it because I'm occupied. So before saying it no, what you can do is you can just check with others if they can do it. If yes, just assign them the task and just inform that yes, this is taken care by so and so person. I'm not in this. If both are occupied and you can't reach that deadline, as I mean, there was an example, right? I mean, I'm full in the plate. I can't squeeze this in time. We need an extra time. So that will be our answer.
Yeah. Basically, your question and this answer is falls under a category called setting boundaries. Okay. So we are all humans. We have a certain time frame where we can be productive and active, and then we also need our personal time off. So when something comes in front of you that is you feel that you're not comfortable to work on it, don't think about others, but at the same time don't be rude. Just say it no in a more professional way. It's okay. Let them understand that there are certain boundaries. Like, and I will give my example because I face this every single day. Uh, I think in my work line, right, not just the work, I think you'll agree. Ad hoc is actually the work that we do. Everything that is scheduled is just, it happens. Just happens automatically. Ad hoc is the thing that we actually do. That's our work. You know, coming things at the last moment, welcoming change at different points in time, like agile. That is the exact pressure or exact work that we do. I mean, let's say if I talk about shift timings, 9 to 6, I'm done. No, 9 to 6, no one works 8 or 9 hours continuously. In a 9 to 6 shift, if I, it's 9 to 6 shift is like, if you see all these bottles on the table, right? Every bottle, there are some bottles which are full. There are some bottles which are half full or half empty, right? Or some bottles are empty as well. So our 9 hour work shift is like that. So every hour, either 1 hour fully I'm working or I'm working just for a certain part of the hour. Rest of the hour I'm taking rest, taking my mind off things. I don't have all my 9 bottles representing 9 hours full. All my 9 hours will have some amount of time where I'm not spending my mind and my energy on work or maybe on that task. Maybe I'm doing something else. So when I say 9 to 6 shift, it doesn't mean that 9 to 6 people are working continuously at a stretch. We work 1 hour, take a break, 1 hour, take a break, 1 hour, take a break. That way you balance it out. So it definitely happens. Let's say with my work, it happens that 9 to 6 is, let's say, my shift timing. 9 to 11, I'll work. After 11 until after lunch, like from 11 to 2, there will be a gap. I'll either not have meetings, I'll have my lunch time. Plus, I'll not have any tasks because there are no clients at that time. I have US clients. They'll log in towards the evening, right? They'll be active. So after 2 o'clock till 4 or till 5, I'll have some meetings which are pertaining to my client or my office, specifically my administration. And then after that, from 5 to 6, I'll be really productive. 5 to 6, I'll not move away from my desk because I'm talking to the clients and I'm telling them what happened throughout the day, what my team has done, and something like that. So if you just write down, if you pour all these empty bottles into a specific jug which says 9 hours or 9 liters, it will never be 9 liters or 9 hours. And that's a very hectic day for me. Let's say if I don't have breaks. working without boundaries. Connecting back to what she said. If I work without boundaries, that 9 hour jug will always be overflowing. It will never be 9 hours again. It will always be 10 hours. Because if I commit to something and I'm not taking breaks, right, I'll feel exhausted and then I'll spend extra time eventually doing it. And actually, rather than I was thinking I will work for 9 hours and complete it, I'll be actually working 12 hours, right?
Right.
So it will never be 9 hours, whether you take breaks or not. It will either be more than that or less than that. It's always good to be less than that, right? Set boundaries. So your question and this answer was about set boundaries. It's okay to say no. You can say no for every question. Given that you have your due diligence, you have your business as usual that you have worked on. If you're actually, suppose there is a responsibility, right? You want to go to college and they ask you to wear an ID card. You want to go to an office, they want you to wear an ID card. No. Okay, go home. Don't set boundaries at places where it's your business as usual, it's your due diligence, it's your duty. So that place as well, you have to set boundaries. That certain things I should not be saying no to. Right? Got your answer? Others might also have thought about it, but I think they have got their answer. Any more questions? Presentation. It's okay.
Just to add on, if there is a scenario where I am assigned a task by someone in private, so and I cannot do that, and I answered it in a very good beneficial way, and it's okay. Again simultaneously, and not simultaneously. After some time, frequently that person asks me to do some other one, like continuously saying no. This is my question. Like I cannot do the second task as well in next 2 to 3 days, which they assign me.
Okay, do this thing. Categorize whatever the work has been asked of you, whether that falls under your boundaries or not, whether it is in your scope of work or scope of responsibilities or not. Okay, if it is in your scope of responsibilities, whether it is in the scope of your timelines, like your shift or not. Okay, if it is within your shift and it is within your duty, don't say no. If you're saying no, you're doing it wrong. You are being lazy, right? You're being unreasonable. If it is part of a responsibility but something after your work hours, you can still accommodate it once or twice in like 20 times. It's a request they are doing. If they are being polite, no, you have to do it. They are putting it as an imposition. Then you can always set the boundary. Something which is your duty but out of your time zone or your time gap. Now, something which is not your duty, irrespective of whether it falls under your time zone or not, can always have the freedom of saying no. Or if you want to learn what it is, it's still not in my duty, you can say yes and you can learn what it is. But be careful once you say no to something which is not in your scope and you work on it, you can expect same kind of work again coming towards you. Because you gave them a chance that I know about it. You're saying yes to it doesn't mean that you know it because so as a person you may not know about that work or that task. But you said yes because you want to learn it. But for the person who's asking you, by the virtue of you saying yes, he or she gets that okay, she knows about. They don't know that you have researched and you have learned on the spot. So that gives them an understanding that okay, this kind of work as well can be given to Nuha, right? So that's where you have to set boundaries. So for certain things you can always say no, don't worry about. They also have to understand, right? They shouldn't be asking this you again.